time I met Deepak and Ratul Puri, the father-son team driving the world's second largest manufacturer of optical storage media, was in 2006. As I go over my notes of that meeting, I distinctly remember their enthusiasm and confidence as they prepared to diversify into new areas like the nascent photovoltaic and home entertainment businesses. The last 3 years have been exciting and challenging, especially for Ratul. This young Carnegie Mellon engineer has been the driving force behind Moser Baer's diversification. The group now manufactures solar energy equipment and has established itself as India's largest home entertainment company and has even jumped into the consumer durables market. But as the global financial crisis spread, Ratul's plans came under fire. The last year was a particularly difficult year, with the company posting a net loss of 151 crore rupees for the year ended March 31st, 2009. So as I get ready to meet Ratul Puri, I wonder just how much of his confidence and his enthusiasm has been shaken and if he's truly ready to take over from his father. Ratul, thanks very much for joining us on the show. The last time we spoke with you and your dad, it was in, I think, September of 2006, and then I met you again in 2007. The world is a completely different place since then. You were very excited in 2006. You were on the verge of starting off your home entertainment business. You were optimistic and confident about the photovoltaic business. How different are things looking at this point?
The credit crisis has impacted the global solar market because large parts of solar farms that need to be established need credit in order to set them up. But I think that's given an opportunity for the solar market to take a pause. The solar market for certain was overheated, and margins in the value chain were unsustainable. What this has allowed is a period of cleansing in the marketplace.
But you're seeing that cleansing taking place with you as well, because you had huge expansion plans. You've sort of had to suffer on the back of the credit markets freezing up as well. I believe you've actually stopped production back in India. You hope to restart that, I believe, by August. What's the situation?
We've actually shut a small part of an overall manufacturing facility. We shut about 20-25% of an overall manufacturing facility, where we had in intermediary processes inventory build-up. But we have for certain slowed down our expansion plans, and we will restart them, and we will aggressively push ahead with our expansion plans as soon as we start to see some signs of recovery in the marketplace.
When are you hoping to see signs of a recovery?
We've seen a pretty strong order intake in the last 2 weeks or so. So I think we are starting to for certain see some easing coming into the solar marketplace. And I'm very confident that as we look towards 2010, solar will see a strong rebound.
You spoke about slowing down expansion plans. Now you had targets of what, about 600 megawatts by the end of 2009, and then perhaps even 1 gigawatt, I think, by 2010. Is that now still on the cards, or are you going to be revising those targets downwards?
No, I think 600 megawatts by the end of this year for certain, would not be possible. By the end of this fiscal year, we hope to be at somewhere in the range of about 300 megawatts, and possibly, look at the end of fiscal 010 or 11, to be at the 600, 700 megawatt range. That I believe for certain is possible.
But has this also pushed back your plans to enter the US market? Has it also pushed back your expansion plans in other markets in Europe, because you were exploring other avenues in Europe as well?
So we are, as a group, going out pretty aggressively to set up solar farms in Europe. We will look at the United States as probably towards the early part of next year.
You were intending to do that by the end of this year, I believe.
That's correct. And we have to see the final legislation around President Obama's incentive packages for solar. As we look at a number of different regions, and from our side at this juncture the focus is India, the focus is Europe, But as we look at a number of other regions, I think you're starting to see significant traction. I think China is starting to emerge as a significant market for solar.
Okay, so you are confident about a rebound as far as this business is concerned, the photovoltaic business, by the end of the year, and hopefully it should be a better year next year. Let's talk about the other businesses, because you were very excited about home entertainment the last time we actually spoke, and since then you've actually managed to ink deals with UTV, you've actually gone out there in the market, you're doing what, about 10,000 titles?
That's correct.
Yeah?
That's correct.
But how's that experience been like for you? Because again, a very, very unorganized business in that sense. You must have had issues trying to sort of grapple with copyrights, piracy, all of that. How's that business turned out for you?
You know, as you look at the overall entertainment landscape in India, and you look at the share that home entertainment has as a percentage of the total entertainment landscape, the legitimate home entertainment business in the country today has grown to about 4–4.5% of the overall entertainment landscape. Up from about 0.3% it was prior to our entering into the marketplace.
But not considerably.
So it's grown 16 times. As a share of the overall pie, it's grown about 16–17 times.
Yeah, but the pie is small to start with,
The pie was small to start with, absolutely. I think, if you look at the United States, or you look at Western Europe, or you look at Japan, home entertainment is somewhere in the range of around 35% of the overall entertainment pie.
And that's what you're hoping to replicate.
So for certain, there's massive room for further growth in the home entertainment space. Probably the biggest challenge India has got is very, very widely spread piracy. But these were all factors we knew about as we went into this. And specifically the piracy part of it is something which was the basis of the business model we tried to build up, which was saying that we need to take the price of content down to consumers. We need to deliver high quality content to consumers. So our strategy was high quality, low price, and everywhere distribution. We also need to react to the market as it changes. So the pirates reacted to our introduction of products by bringing in multiple movies on a disc. So they started to introduce in, as our price points equal theirs, the value proposition changed.
6 movies and 8 movies.
6 movies and 8 movies on a disc. And we have reacted to that, not with 6 or 8 movies on a disc, but with 3 movies on a disc, with a new product we call Super DVD, which is performing exceptionally well in the last 3–4 months. I mean, volumes have grown something like 7 times in this category in the last 4 months. We own over half of all the content ever produced in the country. Now we've gone and inked a number of deals. UTV is one of them, but we've inked a number of other deals. Where we've effectively gone and acquired what we believe to be about 40% of the pipeline of new content that will be released in the next year or two.
So you're seeing volumes grow for this business, but what about profitability?
From our perspective, it was never meant to be a play where you would enter in and in the first year you'd be profitable. We've become significantly EBITDA positive, which I think was the first step. The next step is try to get to EBIT positive, and then as we move forward in the next fiscal year, we think it'll be a profitable business for us, which, if you think about it, it's really a 2-year-old business.
That's right. Speaking of another new business, and that really is the consumer durables business, again, a lot of people question the fact that you actually wanted to make an entry into a market that was already commoditized, that had a lot of competition to start with, even though that you were trying to do the same strategy of bringing the price points a lot lower, which you have managed to achieve. Has that gamble in that sense paid off for you?
I think, on the consumer electronics side, our strategy centered around a belief that we were going to see significant movement in the Indian market as we look towards the television market to start with. 5 years from today, India would be the 3rd largest market in the world for TFT LCD. If you're going to service the 3rd largest market in the world, I believe it is worth it. It'll be a market which we estimate would be worth somewhere in the range of around $2.5 to $3 billion. We believe with the strategy we will employ, we will capture a significant share of that marketplace.
When do you hope to actually see this paying you back?
So firstly, for us, the consumer electronics business, notwithstanding the significant investments we made in creating the backup service infrastructure, the distribution infrastructure, and what we invested onto the branding side of it, is a break-even / profitable business for us. So again, I think 2009 and 2010 will be very interesting years for our TFT LCD strategy.
Okay, so you're in different spaces at this point, Ratul. What is going to be the big focus area for you? Clearly, photovoltaic, you would like to up the contribution of that business to your revenues from the current, what, 10 to 15%? How much would you be hoping for that business to contribute to revenues once the rebound takes place?
By the end of 2010, PV could account easily for, 50% plus of our overall
50%?
Revenue mix. 50+% of our revenue mix. The good news is, our optical business is actually doing very well. For that business
also, everybody now talks to you about optical business towards the end of an interview as opposed to right up front. So are you getting used to this now?
But it's, as we look at the optical business, I think Blu-ray is finally seeing traction. We've invested over the last 4 years a lot of money into Blu-ray, and we hope that's going to start paying some dividends as we move forward. The optical business is a significant source of cash for us. It generates, somewhere in the range of 600 to 700 crores of cash for us each year, which then gives us the capital we need to be able to invest into other businesses.
All right, on that note, we'll take a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we continue our conversation, and this time we'll be joined by Ratul's dad and the chairman of Moser Baer, Deepak Puri, and we're going to discuss the company's growth plans as well as a little bit about the two of them together after this short commercial break.